I do, but not.
All right, let's call the meeting to order, the Spring Lake Regional Wastewater Agency regular board meeting September 27th. And then I'm sorry,
If you all please rise and join me. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Public forum, public testimony is permitted at this time only on consent calendar items and other matters not listed on the posted agenda that are within subject matter jurisdiction of the agency. State law prohibits the agency from taking action on items not listed on the posted agenda. Public comment on items listed on the posted agenda will be taken at each time the item is called for discussion. And I have no cards in front of you. Member of the public right to speak.
Can we get
Dr. Harris needs to approve the agenda.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've done it. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll motion to approve.
Okay, anybody like to speak?
Second.
Move second. Any objection? Is that good enough for you?
Dixon,
Aye.
Yes, yeah.
Aye. It's
Thank
long
you.
distance, I can, yeah.
Okay. No member would like to speak. Moving on to presentations and introductions, and this is the Distinguished Budget Presentation Award for Government Finance Officers Association.
Yeah, isn't it great? So, in Christine's first year with our agency, we are proud of her accomplishments. She has made us very glad to have her here with us. This is one of those occasions to recognize hard work. We received the notice from the agency that the agency received the Distinguished Budget Award for Government Finance Office Association from the Government Finance Office Association. So on behalf of the management team and the agency, I would like to thank you for your hard work and support. And I'm going to actually turn it over to her. She can give you a little bit more background.
Thank you, David. So I'd like to provide a little background on the Distinguished Budget Award. So GFOA established the Distinguished Budget Presentation Awards program in 1984 to encourage and assist state and local governments to prepare budget documents of the very highest quality that reflect both the guidelines established by the National Advisory Council on State and Local Budgeting and the GFOA's best practices on budgeting, and then to recognize individual governments that succeed in achieving that goal. To earn recognition, budget documents must meet program criteria and excel as a policy document, financial plan, operations guide, and communication tool. This award is in addition to the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting Award, which the agency has received for 11 consecutive years. Borrower received the Budget Presentation Award for 10 consecutive years through 2017, but has not applied for the award since until the current budget year. I'm proud to announce that the GFOA presented the Distinguished Budget Presentation Award to the agency for its annual budget for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2023. This award represents a significant achievement for BARWA and reflects the commitment of the governing body and staff to meeting the highest principles of governmental budgeting.
Yeah. Congratulations, that's a big deal. Wow. So it was your first year putting together the budget?
It is my very first budget on my own. Jennifer did help with the numbers. And it is my very first budget award submittal. So I was pretty excited to get that news.
That's wonderful.
It's the first of many, so congratulations. The borrower's budget has always been just a standard that just exceeds everything. So very, very good job. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Okay, moving on to item 6. This is 6A General Manager's report.
Yeah, just with the general manager report, I just wanted to point out a couple of things. So the Force Main investigation project was bid out, and Steve Porter Inc. has received the contract for the installation of the T. Downstream Services Inc. Will be doing the CCTV work. And so we'll be looking for those results, and we'll evaluate the line after that process is complete. The other thing is notably for Replenish Big Bear, we have an RFP for design services for the project going out next month. DuPont will bring a RO unit to finish out the piloting in October. The EIR is expected to be published for review next month and presented to the board in January of 24. And the financial information that was requested by the board it has been included in the general manager's report. And with that, I'm open for any questions, if anybody has any.
Questions for David? Or,
I just want to say thank you for the finances. We give a council update every meeting. So thank you.
You bet.
On page 6 of your report, on the very last 2 lines, talks about state and tribal assistance. Now, that's just a name, right? Those are really federal funds being passed through. And it
Correct.
talks about,
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, it's just a name.
and they talk about 2 grants, and then going on to discuss 1 through Overnorte and 1 through Padilla. But the blue charts at the top, there's $1 $2.5 million. Is that just a coincidence, or is that one of these 2?
With the chart, we're only expecting that 2.5 million. So originally only Obernolte put it into the budget, and then we just got notice that Padilla did it.
Okay,
So we're only really expecting one of the 2, not both.
They both submitted for the same grant application.
The community funding request.
Right.
For the earmarks.
and at the moment, it looks like we're hoping for 17 million out of 71, 72.
Well, I mean, right now, we actually have 17 million in hand today. We're hoping for more in the range of about 25 million without state funding. We're hoping for about 20, we want to allow 25% of the total project cost from federal funds. Okay, so 25% of $75 million, which is the actual construction and design, right? So that would be about 23 million, give or take a few dollars there. So, and then whatever federal funding we can get, I mean, whatever state money we can get after that. In addition. So we're expecting, we could be upwards of, 26, 27 million total. We got 20, state money or even more, depending on, those opportunities with the state money, but we're expecting somewhere right around that range of, like I said, 23 to 25 million right now.
So if you were fortunate enough to go over the 25%, do the feds step in and say, not so fast, and take some of it back?
Yeah, we can't, federal funding is limited to the 25%, for grants.
And then we would be eligible for state only if it's not federal pass-through.
That's correct.
Thank you.
question for David? Hearing none, move on to the consent calendar. Items to be removed. We have a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
1 second. Roll call.
Director Mo,
Hi.
Director Walsh,
Aye.
and Director Herrick.
Aye. Old business, the appointment of the governing board chair or vice chair.
So 2 meetings ago, you requested us to come back at the September board meeting. Jim is not here, so we can table this item until October, or we can do one of those options on the staff report today if you'd like.
I'd like to see a status for October.
I didn't catch. You were.
He'd like to table it until October.
Table is for October. Decision for chair and vice chair.
I'm fine with that. I think Jim was interested in stepping up, so I'd be comfortable with that, but I'm fine either way.
Did you? Yes.
There's possibly we'll have a 5th board member by that time as well.
I don't think they'd be eligible, though. They have to serve for 1 year.
Yeah, but they'd be
So,
part of it.
They'd be part of it. Yep, that's the October, they'll be seated by then, Larry? Probably.
I would hope so.
Yeah, I'll second the motion to do.
Okay. 1 second, you need a vote on this?
Yes. Director Mo,
Aye.
Director Walsh,
Aye.
and Director Herrick.
Fine. Okay, new business, this is, item 10A, resolution for the governing board, Bigger Regional Wastewater Agency expressing appreciation to John Green for his dedicated service as a member of this governing board.
Yes, so we'd like to take this opportunity to recognize John Green's accomplishment and dedication to Barwa over the past 11 years. I will miss him, having him here and, going forward. This resolution will go to his family. So if the board has any comments or would like to make
Mr.
it.
Common, I presume it'll be framed and will look nice for a wall presentation.
Yes, it will.
Questions, comments?
Thank you for putting that together.
Anything left?
Doesn't require a motion, does it?
Mhm.
It does
No.
require a motion. No move.
Second, roll call.
Director Mo,
Aye.
Director Walsh,
Aye.
and Director Herrick.
Fine. Okay, moving on to item 10B, this is a amendment number 5, professional services agreement between Big Bear Regional Wastewater Agency and Water Systems Consultant.
Yeah, so what you have before you tonight is amendment number 5. The amendment covers the work that will take us through design phase, providing support for funding opportunities, regulatory requirements, stakeholder coordination, piloting and implementation, and some other work that has not, some other work that was not anticipated in amendment number 4. The full scope and budget has been included in the attached report. I'm open to any questions or concerns.
Questions? I have, what's the amendment where things were just not considered initially, or has something changed?
I mean, some of the things that have come up were not originally considered, the regulatory agency throws something our way, or conditions change. We moved, like the brine unit was not coming here, and so that moved some of the work out. They assisted us with negotiating with some of the outside companies along with our attorney. There's just things that had happened, and so we're adding some of those things to this number 4 removing some of the things from number 4, moving into number 5, and adding some things to number 5 that weren't originally estimated in number 4. That makes sense.
And, was it based upon the past things, based upon the hours that were put into it and projected for the future? Just the number's fairly big.
Yeah,
So
hours.
it's a big number for an adjustment.
Yeah, well, we adjust on a yearly basis, so the last one was done in September of last year. So this would be that time to make that adjustment on a yearly basis. They give us a budget for on a yearly basis. So it would be this is in the range of the other 2 adjustments that we've made in the past, amendments that we have in the past. So we've had, quite a few in the past that equal this one, and this is just a yearly one.
Okay, you're still comfortable with the agreement represented?
Very comfortable with the agreement.
Right. Comments, questions? Or,
When you were discussing how it came about that you would have to babysit this on a more intimate level,
Yes,
because you had planned to do design it, put it out to bid, and let it rip.
yes.
But you also said in here that it was going to be called a design bid build, which sounded like the same thing.
We are not allowed to do a design, we have to do a design bid build
Because it fits,
because of the bids.
right?
And this is actually program management level, so it doesn't include the design work itself. The design work is actually something that we're going out to bid for. That makes sense. This is more like all the regulatory stuff that has to take place, right? All those permits, all the things that we have that on a continual basis that we have to continue to work on and finish up. And the EIR, there are the piloting, there's just lots of little things.
Well, it's just that when you called it design bid build, that sounded like what you had said we couldn't do.
No, a design build.
Okay,
So
So
that's
that's
one
good.
contract
so now it's piecemeal.
or progressive design build. So what that would be is we hire a contractor, he hires the design team. And then presents us with draft documents all throughout the whole process until he gets about 60%, and then he would actually start construction. In this case, we have to finish the design before we can build. So it increases the length of the construction of the project.
And the
Because of that.
potential land cost.
There is, I mean, some people have made the statement that there is a savings to design build. But other people will tell you the product line that you get, it could be less because you have less control over that piece. Meaning you could get, if you don't specifically tell the contractor upfront that you want, say, a specific valve or specific door openers or, specific things, then you get, prior to him bidding, then he'll give you an option, and typically it's the cheaper option. So you get the low bid approach when you do it that way. In this case, we'll have an opportunity to specify all those things out ahead of time.
But do you think that you're more likely this way, complying with the feds, of surprises popping up?
Is probably. It's probably more exposure this way, yes. I would say that, because with a design build, you basically give them an idea of what the project needs to look like, the standards they have to meet. But that means if they miss something, that's on them. In this case, we have to have a complete set of drawings. Now, the likelihood is that we're probably gonna put out different packages, meaning there are pieces of the puzzle that we'll bid out ahead of time in separate phases. So the design team will have bid packages, like, let's say like the monitoring wells that we'll need for the brine minimization area. We're gonna bid those out separately because that is a thing we can get out and build. The pipeline that's gonna be going over to the lake, we can bid that out separately because it's something that we can design and build pretty quickly, right? And there are likely gonna be procurement, like say the RO unit, we'll probably procure that prior to, because we know that it takes 9 to 12 months to build for us. So we'll go out and we'll actually bid those pieces out, include those in the contracts, the contracts documents that the contractor has to install those pieces.
And so as part of this project, I originally understood the line to go from the top of Summit over to Sand Canyon.
That's a line that DWP and CSD will install. That's not part of this, or not part of our contract.
So there's that additional cost to whatever this project is.
It's not cost to Barwa, it would be cost, yes,
To the public.
to the general public.
And
yes.
then has there been any discussion as to whether it's simply percolation into Sand Canyon or if it's going to be injection wells?
No, it's gonna be it's a spreading ground, so it won't be injection wells, it'll be a spreading ground up there.
Okay.
And then there's been some talk with a new snow line being put in with a T more on the golf course, so it can go right up this Sand Canyon.
So in off season, it could serve dual purpose.
No, so makes it a more convenient route to get up to top of Sand Canyon where it has to be spread. As opposed to going all in the public right of way and getting a bunch of easements from some of the residents. They can actually go straight up the existing flood control district area. That makes sense.
So not necessarily using their snow line, but
No,
at least the access.
they're gonna be building a snow line anyways, a new one. because they have some issues with their snow line. And the plan, the idea concept right now that is floating around is to make a turnout or a key for this line to go up to Sand Canyon.
So we would be using their line.
We would be using their line, correct?
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Motion,
Motion to approve staff's recommendation.
I'll second it. Any further discussion? Comments from the public? Roll call.
Director Vogt,
Aye.
Director Walsh,
Aye.
Director Herrick.
Aye. Okay, move on to item 11, comments, announcements.
Tennessee.
I'm sorry, 10C, what's the review? Okay.
So Tennessee is me again, so just to let the board know and ask for some additional financial support here for this project. Back in November 9th, 2022, there was a windstorm that damaged the roof of this building. It's actually a pretty significant amount of damage to the tune of $37,655.26 worth of damage. We originally went out to just replace those sections of the roof. We got one bid in for the replacement of just that section for $92,700. The one thing that the contractor made clear is, hey, you can replace those specific clay tiles, but it doesn't guarantee that the underlayment on the roof won't leak, and there may be other leaks throughout the entire building. So we decided we would go take a different route with this whole process, and we would just replace the entire roof, all those clay tiles, with something that was a little better for our kind of environment, should we say? And so we looked at asphalt shingle, there's a lot of course, we had some difficulty trying to, originally we were trying to match the clay tile, and we didn't know about the other damage underneath there. And then the other part of this puzzle is there may be the need to put some additional solar on the roof of this building. So we thought, okay, it's probably better off to go ahead and replace this entire roof with an asphalt shingle. And so we are asking the board to appropriate the additional $45,000 to replace the roof along with the $37,655.26 coming from the actually $36,655.26 coming from our insurance company. We should have what we need to replace the roof. So I don't know if there's any questions, but I'm happy to answer.
I have just one question. Do we have to, and forgive me if I misunderstood, so we have an engineer's estimate for the additional 45, but do we have to go out to bid for someone to replace?
So we're out to bid right now.
Oh, you are, okay, I missed.
And for timeliness, the reason this hasn't gone through, like, we would normally wait until we got bids and then bring it back to the board, but for timeliness purposes, to try and get this in before winter, we wanted to get the board's approval of the actual dollars now, so that way we can move forward with the project.
That's what I was worried about, so, shingles have a what, 30-year warranty?
I think we asked for, was it 40? I think I asked for 40 on the shingles.
Okay, great, thank you.
Lord.
Okay, I heard the figure 92,000. If you add the 37 and 45.
92,000 was a bid that we got just to replace the existing clay tiles in place and not look at the rest of the roof. We were just gonna replace the broken tiles. That's all that was gonna do.
So the 37 and 45 at 82 gets us
A whole new roof.
but one not necessarily as fire resistant.
The fire resistivity of the clay, I'm not sure there's much difference between that and a class A fire roof. I'm not positive about that. I'd have to look into that, whether there was a difference between the two.
Any consideration of metal, or is that even more expensive?
That's even more expensive.
But you would like to put more solar panels on?
We're thinking that it may be, we know we need more solar to support the Replenish Big Bear project. And so we're thinking this has been identified as an additional area to put solar panels on. It's only 7,300 square feet, so it's not a lot of solar panels. But again, we need about 2 acres total. So to accommodate what we need. So we're, every little bit's gonna help. And again, depending on, there may be some other opportunities with the adjacent property. That's all.
I hope you're right that you can get it in before weather.
I hope I'm right too. The contractors, we met with the contractors a week ago?
Yes.
About a week ago, and I think they thought it was doable. It's 70 squares, so it's not too bad. If we can get all the contracts, everything in place. That would be the material.
And when are the bids due by?
Tomorrow afternoon.
Tomorrow, 2:00.
Once the board, they all have.
To start Friday morning.
Yeah, if we can get them started Friday morning, we'd like that.
Yeah.
It's not Monday.
I mean, right now, long-term weather doesn't have anything coming in until December, right? So,
A little something this weekend.
Both have flurries this weekend.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. So I just have a question, and you just explained why the bid at 92,000 to repair the roof, but the insurance claim would only provide 37.
the insurance agency, they make their own determination, they bring their own contractor out, their own adjuster out, they make a determination on how much the value is. The contractor that bid the 92,000, there was a lot of I don't really know, in that whole thing, because all you can do is see from, without breaking the tiles, without doing all that, all you can do is you flew a drone over the top, get an estimate on how many tiles were broken, and then we describe what we would like as far as the process we would like to replace them, and matching tiles and all that kind of stuff. He just that's the number he came up with. It was the only bid. So we think this is gonna be a much more competitive bid, because there were four or five,
6.
but actual contractors think there was 5 that actually came out and looked at the roof to come up with a bid. So hopefully we're getting pretty good response.
Is there a chance after the fact you can go back to the insurance company and say, this was the bid for repair?
I don't think so. I think now that, basically they've come up with a price, they've settled on this price a couple of times. Around this range, it was like 34, I think, in the past, and now it's 36. So they've come out and evaluated a couple of times. And
What they want to do with tiles. You start removing tiles and break them, so they wanted them to, the insurance company said, no, they can remove these over here. Once you can't see, put a different color on and stuff. The chances, that's why I think the contractor bid so high, they added the extra tiles because they knew walking on them and taking slow was gonna break them. So that's probably why the bid was so high.
Honestly, I had never looked at a roof before this. I've never seen clay tiles up here, but maybe I'm just not. I would have thought they're porous and just not right for this environment, so.
You know, for playing snow.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure why they chose it. Maybe it was just aesthetics, why it was chosen, and the longevity of clay tiles, right? This is like a life product, so I don't, life of the building product, so I'm not sure why they, 50 years. It's probably what they estimate. I think it's
80, but yeah.
80.
I
Okay.
it was 100, I mean, they should have known.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't look at that.
So Andy,
Like clay?
That'll work. Metal roof, should have put a metal roof.
Yes.
Any discussion that if the three tabs don't have time to warm up and bond together before a windstorm, what happens to our warranty?
I mean, our warranty is, once they sign the contract, it's, rock solid, so, that's really up to them.
Except for the part about water running into the building.
Mhm.
It's just that last year, election night was when all hell broke loose and the rest of the winter just followed suit.
Yeah,
And what I'm seeing long-term is we will be wetter, though like they don't explain what that means at 7,000 feet. And so almost an anticipation looking at what it's doing right now, it's turning colder faster than usual, and I've only lived here 60 years, so I'm just looking at that going, yeah, it's gonna be a rough winter.
yeah, we're,
And to tear this roof off, even though, okay, you're calling them clay, I thought they were cement
they're clay.
tiles, okay.
Mhm.
That,
Very, very.
that it scares me if you start talking about taking the roof off. And then trying to get it done before,
We had buckets.
Yeah.
Around the building. To deal with. All of the leaks that we had in place. We're concerned that we could have mold growing. So we don't think it's wise to continue to wait for this. We want to get it done as quickly as possible. And again, if the contractor comes back and says, look, I can't get it in before. Say mid-November at the latest, then we will probably call the ball and just suffer through. And wait till spring.
and knowing that we had all these leaks, was it that you couldn't get people to come out and give you a price earlier in the summer?
That's one of the things, but the other part is we were waiting for the insurance company.
Okay.
I can't start tearing it all off and do anything because they actually just, I think it was about 3 weeks ago, I got the final number from them. And they sent somebody out about a month ago again, because we were arguing with the cost of doing this was much higher than they anticipated.
The original insurance adjuster came out in the spring.
Hmm.
And I was battling with SDRMA and going, no. And, they sent the supervisor out for the adjuster, and he climbed on the roof and said, oh, no, then the price went up a couple $1,000 from the insurance side. That's all they was. And they basically said, no, you have to remove tile and move the tiles over. So that's not practical. You're gonna break them.
Yep,
I mean, I've been up there, it's
good riddle.
they're already broken. I mean, I'm worried about tiles flying off and breaking our solar panels. We don't need that, so it just can get worse, so,
Damned if you do, damned if you don't, yes.
yes.
I know, just one more question.
Do we know that our bids are in the ballpark of only 45,000 extra? Because you said 7,300 square feet for the roof size, and I think it's gonna be more than that, no?
Well, you figure,
That
roughly, if that's 70 squares.
Yeah.
At $1,000 a square, that would be 70 grand. At 11, we can keep going up, but $1,000 a square is a large number per square. That's per 100 square feet, feet. So we think it's in that ballpark. But again, 45, I have the flexibility to add 20,000 on top of that. If something comes in different than those numbers, not that she'll be happy with it, but I'll add 20 and bring it back to the board in October.
Okay, I just want to make sure just in case it comes higher tomorrow, special
Yeah.
meeting or something.
We do have flexibility.
Thank you.
We did have 2 local contractors. So generally they are less than the ones from downtown.
Good.
3 came from downtown,
Is this the only building in the facility with this kind of roof?
yes,
Yes, aside from well 8.
which is CSDs,
It's empty,
as well as there's plumbing.
we're not using it.
So Christopher John, you're able to get a roofer, local roofer, it's hard to come by,
Too.
they're ready to go.
And well, hopefully they get the bid, so
Okay.
it's rock on that, just like Porter's. It's easier, they're local, it's faster. They procure the stuff, they can come up and start working right away. I mean, it's not like they got rain crews from down the hill, they got to drive up every day, you know, how it is. So it's a lot, I prefer, as we've discussed, is the local people live here and they know our needs, that they tend to work with us a lot better than the ones from down the hill.
Okay, hopefully that happens.
Well, you just never know, but I mean, more than likely, the ones from down the hill will be a higher price, because they got the title plan and everything else. Put it in the price and make it.
When the local will know about ice dams.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's all specified in the specs.
Correct. Yeah,
Yeah, we had a full spec on it, so.
so, you know, I always help the local.
So you've already priced and sourced the materials?
No. They kind of did with their price.
Okay, all right, hopefully pricing and sourcing comes in.
Yeah, it's hard to come with everything. Nowadays, right, see for everything I find, it's not the roof, so it's, some things are 3 times they were.
We, you know, one of the local contractors did get the ballpark, more recently, a couple weeks ago. So that's kind of what we based our numbers off of.
Any public comments inside? You're looking for a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve staff's recommendation.
Second. I'll second it. Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Director Mo,
Aye.
Director Walsh,
Aye.
and Director Herrick.
Aye. Okay, now general managers comments.
I have none.
Got any board comments? Where you want to start? I just close some stuff up there. The recent update regarding Replenish, I appreciate that, and we have to keep it out in the public as much as possible. And also, just for the fun of it, this weekend will be a concert, will be a country concert in the village. Yeah. That's no other comments, we'll move to adjournment. Thank you very much.
Thank you.